Hey everybody, this is Tony, Tainted Lord A7, and this is going to be a collection update. It's been a while since my last collection update, but I've been slowly picking up a few albums lately, and most of these albums are not underground. Yeah, they're not the most underground, most obscure bands in this collection update. All these bands are really well. All these bands that I picked up are really well known mainstream bands that everybody knows. And yeah, I do like my fair share of mainstream bands, and hopefully everyone enjoys this one. And let's go ahead and get started. The first one is from a band I'm pretty sure everybody knows if you're into the whole female fronted um, rock bands, metal bands, but this band is more of a rock band. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows this band, and that's Evanescence and their latest album, Sanctuary. Yeah, Evanescence, a female fronted rock band that everybody knows. And on this album, Sanctuary, is just Evanescence just playing on their strength. As in, if you've heard the music before, you'll get no surprises. This is just some really well done walking, um, um, really well done walking songs on this album with some powerful vocals from Amy Lee herself, which she happens to be on the album cover. But yeah, overall, this is just a really solid album from Evanescence. If you love that whole powerful, anthemic, female fronted, rock, borderline metal sound, though I see them as being more of a rock band than metal band, but either way, Evanescence Sanctuary is just a really solid album from a band that's been going on for a long time and still delivering some really solid music. So yeah, Evanescence Sanctuary is a solid rock album, and if you're an Evanescence fan, this is definitely an album to check out. Really good stuff. So yeah, Evanescence Sanctuary. Next up is August Burns Red in the latest album, Season of Surrender. Yeah, August Burns Red are a metalcore band that I've always known about and I always liked them, but not a band that I really followed that much. I did check out the last album before this one, and I happened to found the new album, Season of Surrender, at my local record store, and I decided to pick it up because it's been a while since I last listened to August Burns Red, and well, it's just some solid, aggressive, riffy metalcore. August Burns Red has a sound that you know what they sound like, and you know what to expect, and they deliver. And while this album shows no surprises, their blend of aggressive, riffy metalcore is just really heavy, riff driven, and it's just a really fun listen. And that reminds me of the metalcore bands that I used to listen to back in high school during the early to mid 2000s. So this band definitely brought some nostalgia for me. So overall, August Burns Red Season of Surrender is just a really solid album from these guys, and it's still keeping that whole that metalcore sound strong on this album. So really solid album from August Burns Red. So yeah, August Burns Red, Season of Surrender. A really solid album from these guys. Okay, next up is from a band that I'm sure everybody knows and are more or less a huge fan of, and that's Alice in Chains. Yeah, Alice in Chains. Black Gives Way to Blue. Of all the Alice in Chains albums, Black Gives Way to Blue is the only one that I'm not that familiar with. And this is kind of my first time listening to this album because I never heard this album beforehand. And well, it's just a solid Alice in Chains album. If you heard of this band before, you know what to expect. You know what to expect. They have that heavy, groovy, um, rock metal sound that's very riffy and can be pretty heavy and has some really great vocal hooks here and there on this album. So yeah, to me, Alice in Chains, Black Gives Way to Blue. Yeah, Black Gives Way to Blue is another solid album in the discography. And why they don't have a sound that differs from other previous releases, this is still a solid um, heavy metal rock album overall, and I personally enjoy it. So yeah, Alice in Chains, Black is Way to Blue. A solid album in the discography. Good stuff. Okay, next up is a band I'm sure everybody knows if you're into the whole southern sludge metal scene, and that's the latest one from Corrosion of Conformity, Good God, Bad Man. Now, this album happens to be a double album from Corrosion of Conformity, and honestly, this is just another solid album in the discography. They play that heavy metal, sludge metal, southern sound that if you've heard the previous releases, you know what to expect with this band. They don't do anything to really, change up the sound or do something drastically different. But like Alice in Chains, they play a sound that they're comfortable with, and it's just a sound that I have no problem with. You know what to expect. You know what they sound like, and with Corrosion Conformity, Good God, Bad Man plays that heavy metal, southern metal, sludge metal sound. That's just infectiously groovy and really fun to listen to. So I'll say this album is another winner in their discography. So yeah, Corrosion Conformities, Good God, Bad Man is a solid double album from this US legend, I guess, because they've been around for a long ass time now. So yeah, just a really excellent album from Corrosion of Conformity. Okay, next up is actually a band that opened up for ACDC last night on Saturday in North in Charlotte, North Carolina. And yeah, they were the opening band for ACDC last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe. And that's the new one from the Pretty Reckless, Dear God, Volume 1. So yeah, I've always liked the Pretty Reckless, and I think Taylor Momsen is a absolutely amazing rock singer, and she has that singing voice that definitely fits with that edgy, sleazy rock sound. And I think you have, and then, and I think that sound is definitely on here. If you how should I put it? If you want that sleazy, edgy, confident rock sound from a equally talented vocalist, you totally get it. You totally get it from this album. I don't think this album is. I don't think this album's a drastic change from the previous album, Death by Rock and Roll. But Dear God, Volume One by the Pretty Reckless is just another solid, edgy rock album that has some really, really nice ballads that really showcase Taylor Momsen's amazing vocals and singing range. And yeah, I think the Play Reckless Dear God Volume 1 is just another solid album in their discography, and I really enjoy this one. This is a really good album and will continue to grow on me as I listen to this. So yeah, really glad to pick up the new one from the Pretty Reckless. Really good stuff right here. And the last album that I'm going and the last album that I'm going to show off in this collection update is a single. well, a horror themed singer that I've always been known about. That I always known about, and he's clearly the frontman of White Zombie. So I think we all know who this guy is, and that's Rob Zombie's latest album, The Great Satan. Now, it's been a while since I listened to anything Rob Zombie related. The last album I heard from Rob Zombie was his 2016 album, The Electric Warlock Satanic Rich Acid. The Satan. Let me say that again. The last album that I heard from Rob Zombie is from his 2016 album, The Electric Warlock Satanic Orgy Acid Rich Celebration Dispenser, or something like that. But thankfully, he matured a bit and chose a shorter album title for this new one, his latest one, The Great Satan by Rob Zombie. And if you're in the whole horror theme industrial rock metal sound, you totally get it here from Rob Zombie's latest album, The Great Satan. It's very riffy and just a fun album to listen to. Like, if you're into like White Zombie and early Rob Zombie albums, I feel like this album is just a throwback to that earlier Rob Zombie sound, where it's more industrial tinged. But overall, this is just a really fun, walking, riff driven album that shows that Rob Zombie still has more energy left in him to put out some solid stuff. So, in my opinion, The Great Satan by Rob Zombie is just a really, really excellent album from him. Really good stuff, and I'm really glad to pick this album up. And that's it. That's my short little collection update. Of course, all of it are mainstream bands, but some mainstream bands are still good to listen to, and I'm really glad to pick up those albums up, and hopefully everyone enjoys it, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So, thank you for watching, and take care.